Welcome to this week's edition of In the Saddle with Drover Sports. Again, our apologies for no video this week. David Duncan's just crazy busy here on campus. But our guest this week is baseball coach Mike Ross. Season already started and already in some conference play this year.
Yeah, we're well underway, 12-6 right now, 3-3 in the conference. Conference starts awfully early nowadays because there's 11 teams in the conference. But doing okay so far. Played Oklahoma Baptist and just didn't get it done offensively. Played 3 really good games, and then played St. Gregory's. Played pretty well and swept them. So evened us up in the conference, and looking forward to this weekend versus Southern Nazarene.
Your senior pitcher from Duncan, Caleb Martin's hitting a couple of records with the wins over at St. Greg. So talk about Caleb a little bit.
Caleb was a guy when he came here a long time ago. I say a long time, it's been 5 years. But when he came in and I was recruiting him, I told him, hey, you're a guy that could possibly break a lot of school records. And he's done that, and he's still going. He's got the wins record now, which is a big deal, and also broke the strikeout record. And what that speaks for is just consistency throughout his 4 years on the mound, just continuing to prepare himself to pitch and going out and executing the game. So we're all very happy for him. I know when we were at St. Gregory's and he broke the strikeout record, everybody in the dugout stood up and started clapping. And I'm sure they were wondering what was going on, but we had to celebrate a little bit, even if it was on somebody else's field. So.
Well, Coach, talk about his development and how you can use that to help your younger players on the field.
Well, he's been a leader, the last couple of years. He's figured it out. Last year he came to me in the office and said, Coach, I've figured it out and I know how to win. And we kind of talked, and I said, hey, that's something that you need to let the younger guys know. And he's normally always one of the hardest workers on the field. He's somebody that the other pitchers that can look up to, and he's been in the league, so he knows what to expect, and he knows how to talk to people and handle the other pitchers. So he's been really good to have, especially on that end, because we have a whole new pitching staff with not a lot of Sooner Athletic Conference experience on the mound. So he's been really good in helping those guys, and being a captain on the team is really what I think of him as.
Talk about your pitching rotation a little bit.
David Garcia normally starts our first game. He's a new kid, sophomore out of New Mexico, and he's done a real good job. He's come in and compete. He's given me a few gray hairs because he doesn't throw as many strikes as I'd like him to all the time, but he's a great guy. I really enjoy watching him pitch, and has done an excellent job. Game 2 is normally Andy Greenslit. He's a left-handed pitcher out of the state of Washington. Picked him up at break, was looking for a place to go, so he ended up here, and he's done really well. And then normally Game 3 is Caleb, and we kind of set it up that way so far to have, still have a good guy on the mound in Game 3. Gives you a chance to win the series, sweep the series on the back end of things. So.
And talk about the batting lineup a little bit, or the big hitters, and who you're expecting some good things from this year.
Well, right now, Brandon Jewett is a guy that I don't think he's been out in 2 weeks. He's swinging it really well. He's a new guy, junior out of the state of Washington as well. He's been hitting in a 3 to 5 hole all year. Of course, you have Cody and Connor Bridgman, who've been hitting in the middle of the lineup and doing some good things. We got a new outfielder, Roma Cesar, and he can really run. Need him to get on base a little bit more, but when he figures out, he's going to really help us at the top. And then you just go down the line. Regulo Moy, Andrew Reyes, Robert Summers, and Jake Dunbar, just to name a few. Those guys are what solidify the lineup.
Very important for the leadoff guy to get on board, whether it's via walk or hit or anything like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what gets the offense going. You have those big hitters right in the middle sitting 3, 4, 5, and it doesn't do any good for them to be in the middle lineup if we can't get on base at the top. So we need a little bit more production out of our leadoff spot and be able to steal a few more bases from the top of the lineup as well. But we're getting there. A lot of new guys, and we're just trying to work through some of the kinks and get it all straightened out as we get right into the thick of conference play.
Lubbock Christian, the number 1 ranked team in the country. They're coming up later in the season. Who else are going to be contenders this year?
Well, Oklahoma City's always there, and considering that they just swept Lubbock last weekend, they're playing really well. I think they've won 16 in a row, and we play them next week. That's probably going to be your 1 and 2, and then it's a mess in the middle. OBU's playing really well. Like I said, they beat us to start conference, and they haven't looked back. I think they've won 10 or 11 in a row. So it's just the same old Sooner Athletic Conference where everybody's just going to battle for the top 8 positions to get in the conference tournament, and it makes it a lot of fun. I'm ready for it, and I think our guys are too. We just got to keep getting better and prepare for what we're going to see.
Baseball coach Mike Ross on this week's edition of In the Saddle with Drover Sports. Thanks for tuning in to this week's show.